fold cards are my favorite type of card to make, especially if they are easy and quick to do. So if you love easy fun fold cards, then this video is for you. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, you will learn how to make a double point fold card, and we will be creating two different triangular fun fold shapes, which will become the front of the card. I will also share a few tips with you and a simple way to add a little closure element to one of the cards. The cards featured in this video showcase the Stampin Up Free As a Bird stamp set and other pretty products from the Bird Ballad suite. But keep in mind that you can use any stamp set and any pattern papers that you have on hand to create this fun fold card. Just get creative with it. For the latest card making ideas, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click on that little bell so you will be notified each time I upload a new video. Now, fun fold cards have that wow factor associated with them, and I love it when they are easy to make. But I also like playing around with a little more complex fun fold cards. So leave me a comment below and let me know what your preference is. So special thanks to Lisa Curcio for the inspiration and card idea that I'm going to share with you today. Okay, so first let's talk about the supplies that you will need to create these cards. You'll need some cardstock that coordinates with the pattern papers you will be using. So for these cards that I'm going to share with you today, I will be using Pool Party, soft suede, and some white cardstock. We will also be using some of the beautiful pattern papers from the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper pack. So I have a couple different patterns here that we will be using to create the two different cards. And I'm also using this pattern paper to create some embellishments for the card. So I will also be featuring the Free As a Bird stamp set, and obviously this stamp set coordinates with all the products and things that I will be using today. Now you will also need some type of shape to create the focal point for the front of your card. So I am using some of these stitched nested label dies to create the focal point for my card. But you can also use other shapes that you might have on hand. So be sure to watch the video and I'll give you some suggestions and some additional ideas and tips. Now, one of the other shapes I will be using is some oval shapes. So I have an oval from our stitched shapes die set, and then an oval from one of our layering oval die sets. And again, I'll give you some tips on other shapes that you can use as well. So for one of the cards, I'll be doing a bit of coloring with some of our Stampin' Blends. These are the alcohol-based markers. So I'm going to be using Daffodil Delight, Pool Party, and the Old Olive Stampin' Blends. Of course, we will also need some ink, so I will be using some black Memento ink and soft suede. And to embellish the cards, I'm going to be using a few pearls, but you can use any embellishments that you have or that you prefer. And the last couple of items you will need are a bone folder and a scissors. Okay, that's it. I think we're ready to get started. Okay, so let's start by creating the double point folds for the cards that we're going to make today. So first you're going to want to choose the pattern paper that you would like to use. So for these cards, I'm using some of the pretty pattern papers from the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper pack. So you're going to start by creating two pieces of pattern paper which measure 3 by 4 inches. Now it's important that if your paper has a design on it, like these papers do, then you need to cut your paper so that the design is running in the correct direction. So I recommend cutting your paper into 4-inch strips. So if you're using a 12 by 12 inch piece of pattern paper, you're going to cut it into a 4-inch strip. So that's what I have here in front of me. That way, when we go to create the triangular pieces, our design will be running correctly. It'll look just like this on our card. So now that you have your 4-inch strips of paper, you can go ahead and put the paper into your paper trimmer and cut off a 3-inch piece. You're actually going to cut off 2 3-inch pieces from that one piece of pattern paper. Once you have your 2 pieces of paper that measure 3 by 4 inches, you're going to score each of them on the 3-inch side at 1 inch. Again, you want to keep in mind the direction of the design on your paper for scoring purposes. So the 1-inch score line will be folded over and adhered to the top and bottom of a piece of white cardstock. So be sure to create the 1-inch score line on the top of one of the 3x4-inch pieces and the bottom of the other 3x4-inch piece of pattern paper. So here's what the pattern paper pieces will look like when they are scored. Okay, so now that we have the pieces that are scored, we need to create the triangular folds. So you're going to start by folding each of the corners of the pattern paper up to that 1-inch score line. Now you can use a bone folder to help burnish down the folds. Next, you're going to use a strong adhesive like tear and tape to adhere the folded paper down. So go ahead and add some adhesive to the triangular pieces and adhere them down to the pattern paper. So you should now have 2 triangular pointy pieces that are above or below that 1-inch score line. Okay, so here is what the finished pieces should look like. So you'll notice that I have some adhesive already on this 1-inch strip, and I have my rectangular pieces all ready to adhere to the card. And you will also notice how the pattern is running. So this is going to be my top piece, and this one here is going to be my bottom piece. And they're going to fit directly on my white cardstock, just like that. And then you'll notice that these pieces will get adhered to the back of the white cardstock, and then your triangular pieces will be hanging over onto the front of the white cardstock, and this is going to make up the card front for this particular card. So now that we have the double point folds created, let's make some cards. So here is the first card that we are going to make, and as you can see, these are the triangular pieces that you just created. So I'm going to show you how to assemble the card so that you can create this fun fold with those triangular pieces. So you're going to start with a piece of Pool Party cardstock cut at 5.5 by 4.25 inches. Cut a 5.25 by 4-inch piece of white cardstock. Adhere one of the triangular pieces to the top of the white cardstock using a strong adhesive like tear and tape. Now just a little tip for you. Simply rest the scored area, that area where the fold is, on top of the white cardstock and then press it into place. This will help ensure that the fold is positioned correctly on the top part of the cardstock. Now go ahead and adhere the second rectangular shape to the bottom of the white cardstock. Now I find that it works easier if you just turn your cardstock upside down to adhere this bottom triangular shape. Now those 1-inch score lines are going to be on the back of the white cardstock, and your triangular pieces will rest on the front. These pieces will make up your card front. Now adhere the entire piece of white cardstock to your card base. Okay, now let's decorate it. So cut one of the stitched nested label dies that measures approximately 2 by 3.75 inches. Now if you don't have this particular die, you can use any shape that will cover the area between the 2 triangular points on the card. Stamp a greeting on the top part of the label using black ink. Add a little bit of tear and tape or some other strong adhesive to the top of the label die and adhere it to the top rectangular folded piece that you created. So you're going to be adhering it over the point of that triangular piece. Cut out one of the bird images from a piece of the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper. Adhere the bird to the label with a few dimensionals. Stamp 2 large flowers on a scrap piece of white cardstock using black ink. Go ahead and color them in with the blue and yellow Stampin' blends. Then cut them out by hand. Stamp 2 leaf images on a scrap piece of white cardstock using black ink. Color them in using the old olive stamping blends and then go ahead and cut them out by hand. Now add the leaves to the bottom of the label die just under the bird using a few glue dots. Add the flowers just under the bird and over the leaves using a few dimensionals. And then for the finishing touch, simply embellish the flowers with a few pearls. And that's it. It's beautiful and it's so simple. For more fun fold card ideas, be sure to check out the playlist featured at the top of the screen. Now this card will lay flat for mailing, however you can see that it doesn't stay closed on its own. So I decided to create a second card that has a little closure piece that will help you keep this card closed. It's a simple little embellishment that you can add to the bottom of the card, and it's very easy to do. So let me show you how to do it. So for this second card, I decided to use different colors and different patterned papers from the Bird Ballad suite. But the concept for creating the card is exactly the same. So you're going to start with a piece of soft suede cardstock cut at 5.5 by 4.25 inches. Next, cut a 5.25 by 4-inch piece of white cardstock. Adhere one of the triangular pieces to the top of the white cardstock using a strong adhesive like Terran tape. Now go ahead and adhere the second triangular shape to the bottom of the white cardstock. Now adhere the entire piece of white cardstock to your card base. Okay, now let's decorate it. Cut one of the stitched nested label dies that measures approximately 2 by 3.75 inches. Add a little bit of Terran tape or some other strong adhesive to the top of the label die and adhere it to the top triangular folded piece that you created. Cut out one of the bird images from a piece of the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper and adhere the bird to the label with a few dimensionals. Cut out a large and small spray of flowers by hand from a piece of the Bird Ballad Designer paper. Adhere the flowers to the label shape using a few dimensionals. And again, for the finishing touch, just add some pearls to the flowers. Now let's create the closure piece for this card. So stamp a greeting on a scrap piece of white cardstock using some soft suede ink. Cut out the greeting using an oval or some other small shape. Now you want the shape small enough that it fits on the bottom triangular piece of the card. Cut out another oval that is slightly larger than the first one from a piece of soft suede cardstock. Adhere the two ovals together and add a few dimensionals to the back. Now lay the card in front of you and hold down the label die. Position the oval on the bottom of the card so that the point of the label die will fit just underneath the oval. So be careful not to adhere the oval to that white label die. You want the oval to be adhered to the bottom triangular piece. Now simply tuck the point of the label under the oval to keep the card closed. To open the card, lift up on the label die and open it up. So there you go. You have just created a little embellishment for your card that enables you to keep it closed. Pretty cool, hey? Now you have an easy double point fold card idea that you can create with any stamp set or any pattern papers that you have on hand. Just get creative with it. And you also have some fun tips for creating a little closure for your card if you wanted to do so. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the cards shared here today. Have fun getting creative, take care, and I'll see you soon.